помоги, пожалуйста, я просто уже в эфире. Okay. Hi everyone, please let me know if you can hear me. I can't speak loudly because I'm somewhere nice. But I'll only know that I'm live when I get a message from you. As you can see, there's a lot of green stuff, some flowers. Yay, fantastic. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Natalie. Good to see you all. And, well, I'm at a restaurant. Well, I'm at a special place. We haven't been here before, but we spoke of it last time, which was yesterday. And I thought that starting from here would be really, really the best thing, because this is, well, my tour that I have been doing in Tbilisi ever since I'm back from Israel. It's, well, showing you the local gems. It's taking you to the hidden nooks and places, I would say, off the beaten path, even though we are literally 2 minutes away from one of the busiest avenues of the neighborhood. And I thought that, well, it will be also really handy, because I know that some of you watch my tours of Tbilisi because you're planning a trip here. And, well, you may really want to check out the place where I am now. I'm going to lay all cards on the table soon, but I would like to show you the person I am with, my mom. Yes. Yeah, so we're out and about with mom, and I don't know whether she will be joining every tour of mine, but as of now, she's here, and we are at a lovely restaurant. Let me show you the beautiful tableware that we have. We're having tea, and I'm just taking mom out, and I have many other plans. Тебе всем всех привет. Yes, I don't want to film other people. I don't want to invade people's privacy, but I cannot but share this beauty with you. And I really like this little teapot, and we're having some tropical tea, and we're just about to finish it. Ты так и не снимала пальто с тех пор, как приехала, да? Well, she's enjoying it, and the thing is that that really doesn't. Hold on a sec. She doesn't really have a lot of opportunities to wear it where she lives in Siberia. Вот ты носила в новосибирск-то пальто? Yeah, but the thing is that she didn't wear it for very long, just a couple of weeks, because the weather started changing quite quickly. So it's already snow there, and -9 centigrade. -9, да, сегодня?
-9.
Yeah, so it's -9 degrees centigrade today in Novosibirsk, and it has like about this amount of snow in the streets, right? So this amount of snow in the street. So she's come here basically. Oh, she's going to show you what it's like in Novosibirsk now, and it's plus 3 hours. So local time is 5 p.m. Tbilisi, and well, in Novosibirsk it's 8 p.m. Сейчас же 8, да, в Новосибирске? Oh, goodness gracious. So that's what it's like where she lives. So that's why she escaped to just have a little more opportunity to wear her beautiful coat and show off in it everywhere. That's why. It's not because of my birthday coming soon. It's not because she's been missing me. It's all because she wanted to wear her beautiful her beautiful coat. Я всем сказала, что ты приехала просто пальто поносить, а не из-за меня. Yes, exactly. Okay, so now I'm going to finish off my tea, and I'll tell you where we are a little bit. Oh goodness. Okay, wait a sec. Mom has another. Wow, this is the view from their window. I mean, it's a winter fairy tale indeed, but you can't wear this coat in such weather. I mean, even just no, it's not gonna work. But it's beautiful. Это красиво, конечно. Ну, можно. Yeah, my mom is also looking for a video, maybe. And I like it, you know, it feels like we're here, we've just booked the big table. You don't have a video. You have a video? Горизонтально, вертикально?
Нет, вертикально.
Ну давай.
Это утром в 7 часов утра.
7 o'clock in the morning a few days ago.
Темно.
It looks beautiful, but too cold. I'm not sure how blurry, I mean, if you can see that, but you can get the idea, right? So that's why we're here enjoying some much nicer weather. It's not even Indian summer actually, because I mean, for Indian summer you have to have yellow leaves around you, but as you can see in the garden behind me, it's all very green and a lot of flowers are still in full bloom. So let me finish off the tea. So we are in a place called Nino's Garden. And this is the place where we wrapped up yesterday's tour, basically around the corner from here. And I told you that on this street, like really a minute away from the big avenue, but tucked away in the courtyards, there's a lot of jams, and it's one of those jams. I don't want to film people, but when we came, I asked if I can just film a little bit of interiors, if there are no people, and they told me yes. So we'll see how we can play this around. So I will be filming me, but also I can show you a little bit of my mom, and also just not to show people, just a lovely garden over here. Look, we are in the courtyard. This restaurant doesn't have well, it doesn't have any advertising, nothing. It's just a lovely garden here, and that's it. I don't want to, hold on a second. I think I need to readjust something because maybe like this is better. So let's go. Yeah, at some point, I may need to just lower my phone because I, again, have to make the privacy. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, cool. I can show this. So, I mean, look at this. This is the place I told you about yesterday. I mean, look at these interiors. And we are in an, I would say, turn of the century house. A small house that used to definitely belong to some Tbilisi family. And it was turned into this lovely place. I love the flowers on the table. So cute. Really cute. And this is the place that really doesn't need any promo. Really airy, bright and airy, and also looks airy because there's actually a glass ceiling. This was actually part of the garden, I believe, maybe in a way, and then they probably extended it. I'm not sure, but it looks a bit like this. Or maybe they just decided to change it for a glass roof instead of, I'm not sure. But it looks really airy because of this wooden box and the glass ceiling and these beautiful lamps. And you can see a little bit of the garden from the windows, because I don't want to film people, but I just like the way it looks. And places like this don't need any promo. They don't really have a big sign outside because people know. And you know, I tend not to take my guests, be it virtual guests or in person, tourists. I don't take you to touristy places. I like to show you hidden gems, and that's definitely one of those. Hi, Barbara. Good to have you on board. I've taken you. Ooh, I like the plate over there. I'm not sure what it is, but I just like the way it looks. I like the plate and the big bottle next to it. So it's all about the details, right? So the lovely lamp over there. Good to see you. Good to see Ronnie. My mom looks really nice next to this backdrop. I also like how this bar looks. Really cute. Obviously, it's all about wine in Georgia, and well, the wine part here is amazing. There's nobody here, so we can film. I mean, Look how cozy this is. How lovely. And I like the Art Nouveau-ish. No, it's not Art Nouveau-ish, it's Art Nouveau. Art Nouveau chairs, look. And my favorite, my absolute favorite is this cupboard. Look, this is it. Yesterday I showed you the videos. Wow. Look at this lamp. I don't know if it's old. It doesn't look very old, but at least it looks very Art Nouveau. I'm not sure if it's antique. I'm not sure how old this is, but it looks really cool. I love this. I love this furniture. Amazing, amazing cupboard. Art Nouveau too. I hope they don't mind if I just touch a little bit of the details. Lovely, very lovely. Okay, it's so really kind of them to let me live stream from here. Another look. It is large, yes. A very nice design. So the whole place definitely was restored and revamped. It's not a listed house, but it's an old house for sure. And the entire area, the houses here in the street, which you will recognize very soon, is from the turn of the 20th century. And this beautiful. So it's Nina's garden. Nina's garden. Thank you, Mom. Here we are in the street that we know very well. The Dmitry Uznadze Street, named after a great psychologist. And this is the door. So it's just the Blue Door place. I'm not local. I've only been here for over a year. I know we have already discovered a bunch of things together, but I'm not local. And, I need names. I need, some sort of indication, but there was nothing. But I just saw people going in and out. And I thought, well, it has to be a special place. And yeah, it happened to be so. So Nina's garden. Тебе понравилось? Yeah, my mom liked the tea. We were not really hungry. Otherwise, we would have come early and had something more significant. But I'm sure we'll have more opportunities with my mom to enjoy Georgian food. We might enjoy something today as well on the tour. But, the weather is amazing. It could be raining easily. Well, thank goodness it's not snowing to start with. Yes, so the Nino's garden is a lovely place, absolutely. And last time I promised to take you here. We actually agreed to meet here. I like this. This doesn't look very promising. Unfortunately, for those who have seen many tours with me of Tbilisi, you know that sometimes, many houses still have not been restored, which means, we're looking at the house that was built somewhat around 1880s. And this house has not been restored. And it does look a little sad, definitely. What is the temperature? Well, I haven't checked, but it feels somewhat around 20 degrees Celsius. And, in the afternoon, I really felt I could just take off my jacket and just go with a short sleeve. That's it. And look at this house. This house is really special. I have a special story to share. But before that, let's remember a person whom we spoke about yesterday, Simon Petrosyan, who was an associate of Stalin, who was also involved in the big robbery that happened in the broad daylight in 1907 in Tbilisi. Well, we spoke about that. We spoke about also, please go ahead. We spoke about how much he loved cycling. And sorry, I'm sure we have some beans. Sorry for that, dust beans. I'll try to focus on something prettier. And I'm looking for a photo actually of Simon Petrosyan. hold on a second. So his name was, his actual name was Simon Terpetrasen, but everyone called him Kamo. And the street, thank you, Natalie, thank you so much for the tips. The street was named after him in the Soviet times. In the imperial times, it was called the Grand Ducal Street, most probably because here used to be an educational facility named after the Grand Dukes Romanovs, the school for boys, gymnasium for boys. And also, after the revolution, after the Bolsheviks invaded and Georgia became part of the another Russian empire, meaning the Soviet Empire, the street was named after Kamo. There was one street of Kamo. It wasn't the street of Petrosyan, Terpetrosyan. It was the street of Kamo. And here used to be a cycling track that was most probably built because he liked bicycles very much. And here even used to be a monument to him. I'm gonna need a minute to find this photo of a monument. And I like to also show you how things used to be. It kind of gives a better understanding of the area. So this monument used to be in the garden. You see, and it's a monument to Kamo. And the monument was here. Now, right now, it's the children's playground. There are no kids there, so I can show. It's also Doggo's playground. Local dogs like to hang out here. Cindy says there is no sound. Is there a sound? Please let me know if there is a sound. Well, yes. Okay, I'm not sure what it is, Cindy. Actually, can you please type for Cindy to rejoin because you have the sound? Thank you so much in advance. Yeah, thank you so much. So could you please just send this message to Cindy to rejoin because I really think it should be something at her end. And so here used to be a monument to Kamo. Imagine now, so this is named after Dmitry Uznadze, and obviously there is no way they would keep there's no way they would keep the Soviet name, and also thank you so much, and there is no way they would also keep the name from the imperial times. However, here and there you can find the traces of the past, and sometimes the entire house can tell you the story of the past. You have the sound, Cindy, so I'm not sure where this came from. Good, it's good, it's good. I didn't say hi to you, so let's talk a little bit more of this house. I mean, yeah, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on. I want to see if we can do that, but I'm not sure. Yes, we can. Okay. Right. I saw an open door, an opportunity, and I had to take it. I absolutely had to take it. So we are inside this. Закрой так, что просто не на замок, чтобы было видно, что мы закрыли дверь. I had to take this opportunity because you know that it's not so easy to access some of these lobbies. And unlike my colleague, Georgi, whom you know very well from our marathons of the secret lobbies, I don't have keys to every lobby. But this one is so welcoming. It says salve in Latin, which means hello. We are in the 1880s house. And I have been here before, and it's the amazing story how I came here. And I will share it with you soon. But this house was originally built, and it belonged to one of the army generals, Imperial Army. We're talking here about the Imperial times. The amazing thing that the glass ceiling, well, there must have been some stained glass decoration, but it didn't survive, which I totally understand. But at least they still have this roof that adds more light to the lobby. Можешь еще включить свет? Now I asked my mom to turn on the lights. To do this, you need to just set in motion. Yeah, thank you, Mom. And look, also because this house has never been restored or refreshed or anything, I mean, it still has a lot of original details. So it was just a tenant house, like many, like we've been seeing so many of them in St. Petersburg, and the same in Georgia, absolutely the same story. Let me see if I can add more light so we could see it in more details. Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, this is the dust, the 100-year-old dust. Like, I'm pretty sure, and probably even the 100-years-old spider web. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing. It was a tenant house. Look at the steps. The steps are also quite impressive because this is also the ironwork. And now you can see there are bricks behind, but there were no bricks. It was just well, sometimes they're called lace staircases because of the metal frame and the ironwork and just marble steps. Sometimes it felt as if it was really flying in the air. And the amazing thing, there's many flights. Well, these flights, I'm not sure, I can see from here. Oh yeah, if I come a little bit closer, you will see what I'm talking about. You see? You can see through the ironwork. So it felt like the steps, the staircase was just flying in the air, like hovering. That's a special thing. And then this house was purchased by a local Jew who was a businessman. I know it was buffering. I know you lost me, but now I should be back. It should be fine now. Should be. Let me know. Once you tell me I'm live, I'll be able to carry on where we stopped. Please let me know if you can hear me. Yes, good. So I think I started cutting off exactly when I was just about to start telling the story, so I'll just start again. So it used to belong to an army general, the Imperial Army General, well, 1880s, 1870s, that's when it all started, and then it was purchased by a Jewish businessman. And I said that Tbilisi, unlike other parts of the Russian Empire, well, Tbilisi being the capital of I would say Transcaucasia, even it never really had a pales of settlement. It wasn't a pale of settlement, which means there were no restrictions imposed on Jews living or working in the capitals, in the central cities of the regions. So that never happened. That's why here in Georgia there were a lot of free Jews. So, and one of those Jews, we don't really know his name, at least not yet. Maybe some information will come up. So, but we don't know the name yet. And it belonged to him up until the revolution. And when the revolution happened, which didn't happen at once, just the same time it happened with the Russian Empire, because as you know, Georgia enjoyed its independence for 3 years. And yeah, as you can see, the house is not in a very good condition, and I would like to actually cross the street and show it to you from the other side. So let's do that. A very noisy avenue, by the way, is just over there. Here is peace and quiet, and I hope it continues this way. Look, this is the house. So after the revolution, when the Bolsheviks invaded in 1921, it was obviously taken from the Jew, and we don't know what happened to him afterwards. But what we know is that here opened a hospital, and you may have noticed the Red Cross. So there is still the Red Cross organization. The Red Cross has been here since 1917, by the way. Look at this, I mean, the house is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. It has lovely decorations over there. If I zoom it in, I'm sure you can see beautiful. Lovely, absolutely lovely. Oh, hold on, hold on. Look at all these details. So it's very eclectic. It's not yet Art Nouveau. It's a bit too early for Art Nouveau, but it's definitely eclectic, and it has some Art Nouveau-ish features. Definitely, like, absolutely. I'm happy that you're enjoying what you see, and I have a story to share. You see that balcony in the very center that says for sale and for rent. So 2 weeks ago, I was passing by this house and I saw people standing on this balcony. And I saw the ad. So I asked them if the apartment is still available. And I asked if there are any interiors that survived. And they said, well, kind of, you know. And I asked if I could just come up and see. And they said yes. And the rest is history. So we are now friends with these people. So the owner of the apartment is Naira. I met her and her son, one of her sons, and she invited us over. She treated us to coffee and the roasted pumpkin. Look at this. So this is the coffee. So we were just people, random people that asked a question and asked to see the apartment. Yeah, of course. Well, we told them that we are not really interested in renting or buying the apartment, but we want to see if there is anything survived, you know, because the house is very old. And they said, oh yeah, sure, come in. They treated us to coffee. We talked. She told us the story of the house. There's not so much information. It's very sweet of her and very sweet of this pumpkin. The pumpkin was extremely sweet. And then I could not but take a photo of myself on the balcony. That's the same balcony. I mean, you can see the part of the advertisement over there. I mean, these balconies are made for me. I'm made for such balconies, right? Like, I mean, I should have been wearing a dress. Imagine how beautiful it would have looked. I was with Misha. No, Grisha was at school. I was with Misha. We were just walking around and exploring the area. And I had been terribly, not homesick, but Georgia sick, kind of. I miss Georgia because it was several days after I came back from Israel. And then we took a photo with Naira and her son Otari, and they know I would be sharing it on my social media, so I know they would be okay with me to show you the photo. And I mean, to have a look, I mean, the interiors. Well, the interiors, as they said, like, not really survived, but there is some antique furniture, and then just look at this clock. I mean, I'm sorry. So this is how it happens in Georgia, just like this. And also, thank you, Mom, for making sure the door is open. So you see, now my mom is also a hunter for lobbies. She also enjoys this. And I mean, yeah, so we can see if there is anything. I've never been there before because normally these doors are closed. They might be nothing, but they might be something. This is the first time I'm here. And the amazing thing is that they still have this lamp, well, part of the lamppost that survived. So normally, back in the 19th century, all these houses, indeed, it's very hospitable. Normally, all these houses, in the lobbies, they only had like one gas lamp, and also the window in the ceiling, because there was no really other place, but there's no really other lights. It was expensive, and there wasn't really much of an importance for the lights here. I also like this kind of a small Harry Potter's room under the stairs. This is normally the place where the dvornik would keep their stuff. This is original, and the ironwork. I'm not sure if it's original. It looks too new, but this one is definitely original. And we might find something under these layers of the ugly Soviet paint. I mean, how can you come up with such a colorful walls? I mean, it's incredible. This is definitely Soviet, but there could be something underneath that. I don't know, but I just like the doors. I do. Oh, I like the cat. Смотри, киса. Но это нет, это мы не будем. Okay, so let's move on. Well, hold on a second. There is a beautiful lamp in the window. I'm literally just really looking into people's windows. It's not so good. It's not a good thing to do, I know, but I cannot but do this. So the hospital is through that door. There's still a hospital. I mean, this is a very quiet street, the Kahidze street. But there is something here very special. Мам, постой вот так. Подержи, пожалуйста, парадную, ладно? Нет, дверь подержи. Now my mom is the doorkeeper. Like, my mom is the doorkeeper. Before we go, I want to show you what I mean. I mean, you see what I'm talking about? I mean, what if I go up with my camera? I mean, uh, you see? Art Nouveau at its best. Oh, please, could you please take a screenshot? This screenshot. This face looks so gorgeous in the golden lights. I mean, wow. This is the proper Art Nouveau. So the house that we have just talked about before, that's eclecticism. That's kind of a predecessor for the for this gorgeous tenant house. I mean, wow. Absolutely amazing. You know, I actually need to take also a photo myself. I'm so sorry. These details, I don't know what I don't know what these are. That's I'm not sure. Not quite clear. Wait. Sorry. I need this photo. I need this photo very much. And also like this. Yes. And look at these details and look at the balconies. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you so much for joining. So you can join whenever you can. I'm always happy to see you. And there are going to be 3 more tours tonight, by the way, about the Henkin brothers, about the post-perestroika politics, a lot of absurd coming our way. And then I'm taking you to Jerusalem again for Via Dolorosa. Look at the tile work. Not much has survived, but at least something. And I'm in the doors. So no information about this house, but the gorgeousness is still here. And most importantly, oh, please, keep the doors. Yes, the lobby. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. My mom is my doorkeeper. Let's go. We have to be quiet. I agree with you. Totally agree with you, Sharon. I also thought about this, like a mom. I also thought about it. So the lobby. Мам, можешь как-нибудь там, не здесь? Ну, хорошо, я не знаю. Мам, I'm gonna ask my mom to. Нет, наверное, туда идти. Туда. Нет, туда. I mean, it looks beautiful even like this, but I want to show you the lobbies. Yeah, well, this one is not case. Попробуй туда-назад. Okay, but here we have some details. Вот где-то вот там встань. This? Okay, we're trying to figure out where exactly my mom has to be moving. So this is really weird. Maybe I should be moving. I don't know. Georgi once had to dance. I mean, maybe it's broken, so there's not much we can see. Походи. But this detail is here. So Georgi, my colleague, he told me that in many buildings like this, the ceiling decorations would be mostly made from paper and would just be glued to the ceiling. And well, it shows it's still paper and it's still there. I don't know how it's possible. So it's not in a very good condition, but this woman's face is incredible. I don't know, she looks, and this face doesn't look familiar. It doesn't look very Art Nouveau-ish to me. And my mom needs to dance. Literally, you see. She really has to go around and dance. Yes, it's still here. It's not in a very good condition, as you can see. There's a lot of destruction, unfortunately, but it's still here. But the side panels are still there. Oh, still here. Don't move, don't move. No, actually, you have to move. Yes, she has to move. Yes. Come on. Move, move, move. I'm so sorry. This is hilarious. I don't know if it's gonna work now. Well, you see, the original turn of the 20th century. I'm not sure exactly which year the house was built, but yeah, these decorations are here ever since. And also on this side of the wall, it's clearly some landscape. Lovely one. Move. Thank you. And also this one. Beautiful. This looks a very Georgian landscape to me. That one was more like Russian landscape, and this one is like Georgian landscape. We have it in Sweden, but the light staying on for about a minute. It should be. I think it's broken. I think so, because these sensors are broken normally. It's quite common here in Georgia, in many lobbies, but they also stay on for at least half a minute. That's how it should work. So I guess it's just something wrong with the sensors. I don't know. And speaking of the sensors, yesterday we spoke about Leon Thermin. So he was one of the founders of this technology. Amazing, right? 1920s we were talking here. If you missed that tour about Leon Thermin, the inventor of the theremin musical instrument, but you play without even touching the instrument itself, because you play with electricity, but in a safe way. Let's also show them the railing. Hold on a second, let me see the chat, sorry. They want to say, yeah, well, this, it normally doesn't work this way. Normally it stays on for at least half a minute. I like the ironwork. Clearly original. We have seen it in multiple houses, so it's not like a unique design. But, well, again, the perfect example of how it would work with the lighting. The glass ceiling is still here. There had to be some stained glass design. Not the case. And now we are going. Well, the floor is very common. This is a very common design. Most probably the workshop of Andrealetti, if you remember, the Italian masonry that opened in the 19th century in this area. So we are in the most cosmopolitan area of Tbilisi, I would say, because this is where the famous German colony used to be. This is where also the Polish community used to live. And also, this is where they had their workshop. This is where they built their houses. This is where they opened their businesses, breweries, bars, architecture workshops. Unfortunately, there's not so much information about these buildings, and the reason is very simple. There is a big mess in the archives because of the turbulence, turbulent history of Georgia. Like this detail over there definitely shouldn't be there. This is something really odd, as if someone just put it there randomly, probably while refurbishing the ground floor for I'm not sure, is it a toilet paper? It looks like it's like just really, really rolls of a toilet paper as a window decoration. Probably not, it must be something else, but nevertheless, it looks really interesting. Really interesting. Another kitty here. Another kitty. Hello, kitty. But so a lot of mess, a lot of balagan in the archives. In the Soviet times, a lot of documents were lost. Many families didn't even want to make this information known, about their background, about their ancestry, and that's why lots of it just maybe it's still waiting to be discovered. Okay, this lion looks quite authentic to me. This is a very sad lion, unfortunately. Really, I wish I could just give him some cuddles because he's very sad. He definitely hasn't been cuddled for a long time. Nevertheless, that's also history, and we appreciate that. But the closer we get to the main avenue, well, the more beautiful it gets. And we need to do it like this because remember I told you that a lot of Germans lived here ever since the 19th century. And many of those Germans were very educated. They were devout Christians, Adventists mostly. And some of them were architects. And they would build houses for themselves or for some of the, I would say, wealthy clients. And many of those Germans became very successful. They were very, I would say, avid entrepreneurs. I mean, look at this. So this house was built by one of the German architects, and there is even a very important marble tablet that tells us more about the background of this house. Paul Stern was one of those architects. We know several names of those German architects who lived and worked and had left quite a big legacy after themselves. So this house was built between 1983 and 1984 in accordance with the design by a local German architect, Paul Stern. It's a hotel now, which is good because the house clearly has been taken care of. And this area has a lot of hotels because this is a very touristy. No, it's not a Jewish place. No. So the Star of David is not actually, it's not really a Star of David. It's just a very old symbol, Yeah, the windows are gorgeous, and this is just the Moorish style that was very trendy in the late 19th century. And by the way, speaking of the Stars of David, they only started to be used by Jewish communities in around 13th, 14th century. No, he was a German. He wasn't a Jew. He was a devout German Christian. Well, maybe he was Jewish, but definitely he didn't say that. And he was, as I said, devout Christian. And the way they came here was exactly because of their beliefs. So they just, I'm not going to speak about in so much details because it's going to take up most of the time of the tour. But I will just say that make sure my mom is, I don't want to forget my mom. She has been in this area before, but I don't want to lose her. I don't. Yes, also many German names and Jewish names and Ashkenazi names are very, very similar. They sound very similar, and it's also fine. We know of this. This is a, well, I would say widespread thing. Yes, so these Germans, how they actually came here. There was a group of Germans. They they further on would be considered even a sect and undergo some sort of a schism from a Lutheran church, and because they considered a lot of natural disasters, especially volcanic eruption in Indonesia in the beginning of the 19th century. It brought many natural cataclysms, and it really affected everything. The harvest was a very bad harvest. There was an entire summer and a year without a sun because of the heavy ash in the air. And that was seen as an omen, as a bad sign, as a sign of the end of days. So a group of those Germans, they decided they had to do something. They had to be somewhere in a better place for the end of days, and they wanted to go to Jerusalem, but they couldn't because of the wars and because of the Ottomans. And they decided to go to Armenia, but they couldn't reach Armenia either. But they were on their way to Armenia, to the Ararat mountain, which is, according to a tradition, was believed to be the place where the Noah's Ark was docked, which is not really the case, as we already know. But nevertheless, I mean, there hasn't been found any proof so far, but there is still this tradition, it's still quite strong. So they stayed, they were stuck on their way to Armenia, and it was Caucasus, it was Georgia. So the Russian monarchs allowed them to stay, and some of them moved to Tiflis, to this area, and it was just a village and the wilderness and the forest. And they started building buildings, building houses. And this is the example of some of the very first residential and trade buildings. It's still here, it's been preserved, and it looks quite cute, don't you think? And now we have to do it the Georgian way. We will need to cross the street. We will need to cross the street with my mom. And you can see how the architecture kind of changed from the wooden house to these gorgeous stone houses. Let's look around a little bit. I mean, look at this balcony. The balcony is cute, and it looks nicely when it's all restored. So you see there's a lot of, care and maintenance going on, but it just takes time. There is even information about this house. So actually that just gives you the story of how Germans actually came here. Well, it's also in German, but I kind of explained it to you briefly. And let's see what it looks like from here. So this is the example of the trade house, like a small business center. So every door basically was a separate office, a separate shop. And many houses used to be like that. And that house behind, this is the example of a residential building. Very few of them have survived to the day because the area was developing quickly. And also the pockets and the wallets gotten thicker and thicker, and they would need something more magnificent. Yes, it is. It is. There's a lot, really. A long building because there was a lot of trade. As I said, those Germans came prepared and they were ready to start things from scratch. I guess at some point they figured out that the end of days was not yet there, and they decided to start things from scratch, and they succeeded. I mean, look at this gorgeous avenue. Well, this house, for example, was built by another architect, another German architect. Look at this. This is a proper European architecture. Really, it doesn't look very Georgian. Doesn't look very Georgian. This is now where the police building is housed. Well, I want to show you the gem. So this time, not this time. So now we are not going to explore this avenue. We are talking about some hidden nooks. So that's why we need to come here. Sorry, I know this car needs to go. Sorry. Yeah. I hope my mom is here. Is mom here? Mom? I think I lost her. Where is my mom? Come here. This is a hotel. We have been here once before, but I think it's a good example. It's a good example of this, I would say, very secret places that I have been able to uncover. Well, unlike that You see, Georgians have something for the doors. They could have just simply thrown these doors away. They're not really beautiful, but instead they decided to keep it and turn it into mirrors. I mean, isn't it lovely? You recognize it, Sharon. So you were on that tour, the only tour that I took you on to show you this place. So this house used to belong to a baker. This is called like a Donut King. Mom, встань сюда тоже. Вот так, чтобы тебе было видно. Развернись туда, смотри. Да нет, вот так. Вот так. Да вот так, вот. So it's me and I don't know how to do this. Okay, let's do it like this. So it's me and my mom, and we're looking at the mirrors placed in the old doors. These doors were not here when we were here last time. So I think I want to show you the lobby. I hope they're okay with that. And look, they even preserved the lamppost, what's left of the lamppost. Lovely. So I like it when people take care of things. And for some reason, they haven't even replaced the Soviet period tablet that actually says, please make sure you keep the area clean. Well, I think it's pretty much important regardless of the political regime. Пойдем? And my mom hasn't seen this lobby. As you can see, it's not just about showing you around, but also my mom. Ты эту парадную не видела, да ведь? So, это вот прям до самого потолка, там до самого верха. Look at this. I mean, and there is very little information about this place. It's quite a new hotel. It only opened last year. And it took them way longer to open because they wanted to make sure they clean and prepare the lobby for its visitors. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. There's very little light, unfortunately, but there is enough still. I will also probably use my flashlight. Hold on a second. And here, this was clearly a very affluent building because there is decoration even here. It's not uncommon, but it's not very common. Look, they cleaned it. They haven't done much of the restoration, but they cleaned. And look how much has survived. I mean, I know. Я знаю, да, это отель. This is my mom. And look. It is gorgeous, absolutely. Let's move on because there is a lot more light if we go upstairs. And wow. Ты видишь, да? So that's the scale. I wish every lobby still looked like that, at least. Okay, don't restore it, but just clean it. And just remove the layers of the horrible, Soviet paint. Well, that wall, by the way, had been restored, at least the central piece. And because there is the glass ceiling, there is enough of light for us to admire this gorgeousness. I mean, my mom knows where to sit. Yes, mom. Хорошее место выбрала. Nice spot. Good for you. Good for you. It's probably these sculptures kind of came alive, and they're, I don't know, enjoying an interesting menage a trois, maybe? I don't know. Well, some attempts to restore. I don't know if the plan is to restore. I don't think so. I hope so. I hope not. But But this, I admire all the work. This is not a cheap thing to do. This has to be done by professionals. And to be honest, I like that side more than this one. Yes, it's kind of... Yes, Mila? I mean, this kind of... They've been attempting to restore it, maybe they just going to keep it like this. Maybe they just want to fill out the areas that they have not, they have not been able to clean properly. Hard to say. But like the niches also have the whole decoration still there. It's absolutely incredible. And even there, I don't know how I can, oh yeah, I can show it to you. Look, there is even here there is a painting, just some nature, I don't know, some landscape. There's not so much information about it other than the man had a chain of bakeries and the donut places, but that's a very impressive house. And there's also, I think there is also a minus first floor, -1. Let's see what they have in there. So it's a big kudos to the hotel. I admire all the work. It's incredible. It's just incredible. So the unfound door has very good ratings, by the way. So you may want to check it out. But I swear I haven't been paid for it. It's not a promo. It's just me admiring the gorgeous interiors. Yep. Sorry, I just didn't want to film people. Let's see what's there. Oh. Look. There's another pattern here. Looks like there was a, I don't know, if it's just a floral pattern or something more than that. I'm not sure. Wow. Oh, and what I like it looks like it's the portal somewhere else. There is a mirror. I'm not even sure where it starts. Not here. Here, there's the pink. There is a step. I think this is a nice place to wrap it all up. Don't you think? Wow. Let's do it. Could you please take a selfie of us? And also, I need another selfie too. I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know if you can see us still. I don't know. Well, it doesn't show. It's either the chat is slow or at some point we got disconnected. I have no idea, but let's move on. Oh, good. We're still live. So let's find our way back to the daylight. So I think this is a good wrap-up for this tour. But it's not all. Mom, because there is a restaurant that also has some decorations. Hi. Do you mind if I film here?
Yes.
Can I film here?
Yeah, you are the guests and at the
No.
dinner? Yeah, but just real quick because we are hosting private dinner, okay?
Oh, okay, sure,
And we
sure.
are already
Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, look at this. And it is so kind of them to let us quickly film here. There is a private event that they're hosting, so I don't want to abuse their hospitality. But look at this. Are these lotus flowers? Oh, no, there's not lotus. Mom. Как эти цветочки называются? Как эти цветочки называются? Знаешь? What's the name of these flowers? I'm not sure. Is it iris? Maybe it's irises? Not sure. But it's lovely. And just the ceiling, and we're off. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. I mean, look, they are preparing for a lovely event. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And look, what I have discovered, I haven't seen it before. It says office. It's written in Georgian. It's written in Russian. Kontora, well, kind of an office. So why on earth a private house would look like that? That's because it was an office. It was an office. And it's the same thing as all these with these, royal residences. You just had to show off, right? You just wanted to show that you have the money, you have the taste, and you can. Well, it's okay to do business with you. Well, and this is the same building that I showed you, the example of the kind of a shopping center from the German colony times. There you go. So it looks like next episode we still will be running in this area. I still have a couple of courtyards and lobbies to show you. And the entire avenue, it's still gorgeous. It still has so much more that I could have spoken about, but we're limited. We're limited in time here. So I think this is where we wrap this up. Thank you so much everyone for joining me and my mom. This is us. Thank you so much. Спасибо, мам, за все двери. Thank you, Mom, for making sure, it's a pleasure indeed. So thank you for keeping all the doors open. You're my doorkeeper. Not the key keeper, but the doorkeeper.
Спасибо за компанию.
Yeah, thank you for a good company. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you have enjoyed it like we have. We've been to 3 lobbies actually. I've shared some personal story. We kind of virtually visited a local apartment. And I hope there's going to be more to it. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. And there's a lot more. There's always a lot more. And we're planning some really special experience with my mom involved. And she's down. She's down for it, right? Yes. Okay. She has no idea what I'm talking about, but she's down for it. Yeah.
С удовольствием.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Thank you everyone for joining. Bye for now. We would appreciate your support. You could send me coffees. You could send us PayPal donations. Thank you for everything. I will see you on 3 more tours. In 2 hours from now, Misha is going to give a talk about the post-perestroika politics and the absurd of it. Next weekend, there's going to be a special tour about Russian politics. It's about Putin, but it's about his first 2 terms and and how he rose to power. All these things. And many tours for the upcoming weekend are already there, I kind of thought to do it a bit differently this time, and hopefully it will work. We'll see. And so tonight also I'm talking about the Henkin brothers. We're going to be exploring how the life in the Leningrad in the 1920s would turn into 1930s. We'll speak about what the life was like in the 1920s Berlin, with Anne Fohl, and then with the rise of the Hitler's party, and how it was all reflected in the photography of the Henkin brothers. Very interesting. And also I'm taking to Jerusalem for the final episode of Via Dolorosa, and then next weekend we're heading to the Holy Sepulchre Church, which I cannot but take it to because we're still exploring the Christian Quarter, and these are the highlights of the Christian Quarter in Jerusalem anyway. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you very soon on a different tour. AnnaGuy.com. This is where you can find the recordings as of yesterday, by the way, the first live stream. Thank you, Sharon, for the photos. Well, I haven't seen them yet, but I see that you're sending some screenshots, which is amazing. Thank you. And also, yesterday's tour of the Art Nouveau area of St. Petersburg, and a lot more. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.